name is Emmy Anstey and I am 21 years old and I live in Northampton. I have a rare genetic condition called Bardet-Biedl syndrome, which mainly affects my sight, but it affects a few other things as well. But with the sight, so I'm completely night blind, which means if it's a dull day or a dark day or at night time, I can't see a thing. I'm also really light sensitive, so if there's too much light, especially on a bright sunny day, I also can't see very much either. So, you know, you can never really get... So yeah, so you can't exactly get the perfect balance. So you have to try and get the perfect balance between enough light and not too much light. My colour blindness is not really an exact way to describe it. It's just very random. Like sometimes red can look blue or blue can look orange. There's no logic to it at all. It's just colours look different, and yeah, it makes life very interesting. Then I have no depth perception, which basically means, so imagine, so I don't know if you, I have no depth perception, so it's basically like when you're carrying a basket washing down the stairs and you can only just see over the top of it, well that's the amount I can see all the time unless I move my head. And then I have no peripheral vision either, so if I was sat opposite you and I was looking just at your left eye, all I'd be able to see is your left eye, unless I move my head, so I can't really see facial expressions at all. So because of this, I have to use a guide cane. I started learning Braille because it's a degenerative condition and it might get worse as I get older. So I've been learning Braille as a backup, and I've also been doing touch typing for a long time as well. So to help develop my skills and help to make me more independent, I'm going to the Royal National College for the Blind in September. So I start on the 4th of September. So I start on the 4th of September, and I'm going to study independent living skills, mobility skills, A-level history, level 2 audio media, and level 2 and level 3 Braille. It's a residential college, so it means I'll be staying there It's a residential college, so it means I'll be staying there. However, I have to come home in the half-term and holidays. So I'll be staying there for about 7 to 8 weeks at a time before coming back for a little bit. So I'm really, really excited for this new adventure. But because of waiting to find out about whether I got into the Royal... But because I've been waiting to find out whether I got into RNC or not, I've been out of education for 12 months. So I've been trying to find different things to do. So one of these was I started volunteering at Delapre Abbey. And the way this came about was one of the volunteers got in contact with my brother on Facebook. And then I went and met one of the managers. We had a meeting to discuss what would be practical with my vision. Then I started having my 4 tours around the Abbey as my induction period. And then I started volunteering in the bouger rooms upstairs. So I started in the bouger rooms because they were the ones with the most amount of light, so I could see more in those rooms than I could in the other rooms. And I was given the job as an Abbey host because being a tour guide with my vision just wasn't practical. So basically that role as an Abbey host, my job so as being an Abbey host, so my job was to answer any questions that the visitors may have, and to basically share all the information about the bouger family that lived there at the Abbey, and about the bouger family who lived there at Delapre Abbey and were the last family to live there, and then a bit about the records office and then when the Abbey was restored. I've also helped out with some of the events. One of which was the Christmas event where I helped out with Santa's Grotto. That one was definitely full on, and It's rather entertaining as well because I was dressed up as an elf and it wasn't a thing until I made it a thing of being the blind elf at Delafrey Abbey. And basically I put tinsel around my guide cane, and yeah, that's basically what I did. And my family found it hilarious that I was there dressed up as an elf. So they asked for photos so they can have a good old giggle. So I've been at the Abbey now for 2 years and I love it. I really love talking about history. I'm a massive history nerd, so I really enjoy my history. So the fact that I've been able to share that information with everyone that I've So the fact that I get to talk to such a range of different visitors, and some can ask some really interesting questions, I just really enjoy it. And actually, the reason why the visitors actually reached out to my brother was because I did a video on my YouTube channel asking for some summer volunteering after I finished my A-levels. And that's kind of what came of it. So I've been doing a YouTube channel for about 2 years and 4 months now. And the YouTube channel is called Emmy's VIP Life. So the VIP bit stands for Vision Impaired Person. And I've got 187 subscribers, and I think my first video's got 1,700 views. Yeah, my first video's got 1,700 views. And the whole point of doing it is basically to show what it's like living with vision impairment, to spread awareness about, it was all about, so doing this channel, it was all about kind of showing what it's like living with vision impairment, to spread awareness, and also just to show everyone that even though you have a disability, it doesn't have to affect you, or it doesn't have to stop you from being able to achieve all the things you want to achieve. So a lot of the videos I've done are just me doing random things and just showing that I can do all these things I want to do despite having my vision impairment. So for example, I did a baking blind one where I literally held up my hands and said to everyone, I was an idiot, because I didn't realise cherries had stones in them. So I was making brownies and I had to fish all the cherries back out to take the stones out and then put them back in. So that was quite funny. I did clay pigeon shooting. Managed to hit one, which I never thought would happen. My dad did have to kind of tell me where to aim, but that was a really great experience. And also my dad took me out for driving experience as well. So all these things I never thought I'd be able to have a go at, I was able to. So, and our main thing about it is you should never let anyone you should never let anyone say what you are capable of. You should never let anyone else tell you what you can and can't do, because you can do exactly the same as everyone else. It just might take you a little while longer, or you just have to find a different way of doing it. And then I'd say, and also I spoke about earlier that I've been doing Braille for a long time, and it was introduced to me when I was in year 7. Well, the reason I went to level 3 Braille is because I potentially want to be a Braille teacher. And actually this week I went into my old secondary school, Northampton School for Girls, and I actually delivered 4 workshops about Braille and spread awareness about what it's like for people with vision impaired and blind. So I had to prepare a lot of resources for it, and there was a lot of work that went into it. But it was, obviously it was very strange being on the flip side of being almost like a member of staff rather than a student. But it was really, really good fun. I really enjoyed it. The students I had were so engaged and seemed to enjoy it as well. So it's a really great experience that I got to do. I'd say my favourite thing about living in Northampton is probably just the history that I found out about by visiting different places and being part of Delafrey Abbey and Friends of Northampton Castle, and just, finding out about some of the history of Northampton. And like I said, I'm off to the Royal National College of the Blind in September. I'm really excited about this new adventure to come, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more opportunities to come as well. So my final thing would, so the final thing I'd like to say is just big thanks to Laura for having me on the Happy Hood So last thing I'd like to say is a big thank you to for having me on the Happy Hood podcast series. And like I said, you should never let anyone get in the way of what you'd like to do. Because whether you have a disability or not, you can do exactly the same as everyone else. You just have to find a different way of doing it. So thanks so much, and so thank you for listening, and bye. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and bye.